You don't realize how lucky you are. Back in my day, I'd have to sit there for 8 hours a day, cold calling people, hoping they wouldn't scream down the phone at me whilst I was pitching them my shitty social media marketing services. Nowadays, AI can be the one getting abused down the phone as it calls my leads for me. And that's just the start. There's a bunch of other things that now make building a business online so much easier and simpler than ever before. And yes, I'm very sour about that. But luckily for you, I try to exploit every single one of those opportunities on a day-to-day basis. So in today's video, I'll be showing you the areas of business that I'm seeing huge opportunities in, as well as giving you the framework that we're going to see super small and lean businesses using in 2025 to absolutely cream it. Now, if you're watching this video, you're probably selling some kind of service online. And like everyone else that's selling services, these are probably the main buckets that you're focused on. Lead gen, sales, team, client delivery, and if you're super smart and sexy, content. Now, these are the 5 buckets that you need to be filling on a day-to-day basis. Constantly looking at how you can improve and optimize each individual bucket. Now with lead gen, you really do have unlimited options. The process of obtaining a lead is as simple as knowing who you're trying to sell to and then putting your offer in front of them. Whether that's using cold email, paid ads, or spamming school communities, fishing for clients, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Lead gen should be the easiest piece of the puzzle to solve. And if I was in your shoes, I would start with an actual game plan in mind for 2025. Just by having this little bit of thought planning, you're already going to be ahead of 99% of your competition. You know, think about it. Where does your ideal client exist online? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Instagram? And depending on that answer, that's then where you need to go and focus. So let's say you're trying to get in front of realtors. Instead of manually reaching out to them on a day-to-day basis, make it easier for yourself. Set up these automated systems that we now have access to and have them running in the background on top of everything else that you're doing. It's really as simple as just setting up an Instantly or a Smart Lead account, warming up some email addresses, and then paying an Indian kid on Fiverr to go and scrape some leads for you. Big up Sanjay if you're watching this video. Love you, man. Now you can also go and do the same on LinkedIn. And look, if you can't figure out how to set that up, then you've got some bigger issues coming your way, my son. Now, back in my day, these automated systems never used to exist. And yes, they're getting spammed by everyone. So to me, this is more like a lead gen insurance kind of thing, if that makes sense. Something that actually runs in the background with little to no effort, occasionally bringing me in a book call here or there. Now, content and ads is by far the most superior way to get new business, as you probably know already on this channel. And look, I get it. If you're not as good looking as me and you're scared to get in front of the camera, I understand. Well, actually I don't, but whatever. You can get creative with AI voiceovers and pay an animator on Upwork to make some cool reels for you. There's now even tools that allow you to use AI avatars to go and create ads. So your only job with content is literally writing, getting better at sales copy, and learning how to tell stories. And if you can get good at that, then not only can you then use that in those scripts, in the paid ads that are being made with AI, you can also use it in short form video scripts. Again, using AI. And you can also go and then post that written content on X and on LinkedIn, if that's where your ideal client is. The game is literally rigged for people with brains. I know, it's mental. You don't know how lucky you are, mate. You can have lead gen running across multiple platforms with such little low risk effort without any pain of Derek screaming down the phone at you, telling you to never call him again. The answer is right there. You just have to go and do it. And there's 1,000,001 tutorials on this platform right now teaching you how to go and set it all up. Now I want to move on to the second bucket, which is sales. Now this is where I get very, very excited. Sales is a minefield. Or at least it is if you're working the old way. Now, if we simplify it, it's how do we turn a lead into someone that buys from us? And the answer is simple, but the steps are confusing. Now, I look at our business as an ecosystem. Now, back in the olden days, inside of that ecosystem, we would have had to have email, SMS workflows, some form of lead magnet, some appointment setters, engaging with our leads, a team of closers that would then go and speak to those leads, and then some kind of manual follow-up process in place to then get them to actually pay us. And then on top of that, you then need to go and watch all of your sales team's calls, making sure that they're not promising the world to these people they're speaking to just to get people handing over their credit card details. And having all of these moving pieces is so confusing and hard to manage. But luckily, of course, you can now bin 90% of them off by simply using AI. Again, you lucky bastard. So here's exactly how our ecosystem now works completely on autopilot. So a lead's generated, and yes, we get a ton of those. We then have automated SMS and email flows that them leads then go through. We also have an AI that actually engages with all of our leads, nurturing and qualifying them, actually getting them to book in for a sales call. Now this works day and night, no commission, no crazy base salary, and it allows us to book way more calls and actually make a ROAS on our ad campaigns. Now, once this lead or prospect is actually on the call, obviously our sales team then jump in and do their thing. They are humans, not AI. But the best part is those manual processes are now automated on the back end inside of our Go High Level account. And then on top of that, we use a platform called Fathom. Now, Fathom joins all of our sales calls, records everything that's said, transcribes everything. And what happens at the end of every call is that then triggers a personalized follow-up and a next step email, meaning our team doesn't even need to think about what to follow up with. And then the best part is we then have a custom sales training AI that basically reviews all of their sales calls, gives feedback and pointers on how they did, essentially training them ongoing. So not only do we now not have to spend all of this time managing leads, we now have this automated system that trains our sales team every single day on autopilot. Where the hell is this tech going to be in the next 12 months? It's absolutely mental. Every single day, I'm literally blown away by what our team are cooking up in the sales process of Unorthodox and our clients' businesses. So look, let's step back, look at the buckets. That's our lead gen sorted and our sales system that now works on autopilot with very minimal effort and less team members, which is of course our third step. Now, I genuinely believe that with all of these systems in place, with ongoing optimization, we are going to see way more 8-figure businesses with tiny teams of like 3 to 4 people across the whole company. Long gone are the days of needing to hire a massive team for any of this stuff. AI has come in and it's absolutely smoked the low quality workforce that I would have previously needed when I first got started. Now, next we have client delivery. Now, I productize as much as I can. I want to do something once. I want to get it working and then build SOPs and templates around that process. Doing custom work for every single client is so tough. And it doesn't play into my idea of building this smart business that's scalable with a small team. Now, at Unorthodox, we have 2 offers. One for the big boys, where we charge 50 to 100K. And then we have our systemized offer that's under 15K. Now, our biggest clients are much more custom, but even with them, we're following the same principles. We're always looking at how can we systemize and build these processes that we can then repeat for every new client. I don't like teaching the same thing over and over again. So using platforms like Figma to map out delivery processes, mapping out literally every single step that then acts as an instruction manual for our team members to follow. And then filling in any gaps with Loom videos that can be rewatched and converted into written SOPs with a click of a button. And the same goes for our clients. We'll create Loom assets to send to clients rather than written walls of text. This means we can reuse them. This is the smart way to scale your client delivery. So stop doing everything custom and for the first time with every client. That is just the dumb way of doing things. Now, side note, talking about systems, we have literally cracked the code on filling your calendar with 5 to 10 qualified sales calls every single day. Now, if you want us to actually come along, build and install our client acquisition and sales system into your business, then book a call below. Now, finally, we are left with our content bucket. Now, there are unlimited resources on creating content for your business, but one of the best resources is a very good friend of mine. He's called Creator Booth. Now, that's not his legal birth name. He wasn't named that as a child, but you should definitely check out his channel. It's an absolute game changer if you really want to take content seriously in 2025 to build your business. Now, the truth is, content's only really possible when you've got everything else in place that I've spoken about today. So have content as the holy grail to be aiming for, because when you have the systems behind you working away and doing their thing, you then actually have the time to invest in creating good content that works, which is the literal cheat code from going from 10 to 50K a month all the way up to 500 a million a month. It is the one thing that's separating you between the big boys. Well, that and more ad spend. Anyways, you now know how lucky you are. So stop wasting your time watching YouTube videos of these morons renting cars and flexing on you, and go and get to work. See you later, buddy.